Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Daniel Costello, senior baseball player from Edmond, Oklahoma, has been one of the Stars' leaders in hitting this year. Daniel, you had an 8-game hitting streak at one point. We're also recognized as the Sooner Athletic Conference Player of the Week. What's gone into your hitting recently?
Well, showing up to the field with the same approach every day at the plate is really important for me. Just hunting fastballs and good pitches to hit in general is really been the key.
You seem to have kind of settled into a spot in the lineup for OCU. Are you comfortable with the role you're playing right now?
Yeah, I'm very comfortable. We have a great group of guys. We have a lot of fun when we show up to the yard, and we're looking to win every game. So.
In the first game of the Texas Wesleyan series recently, you had a 2-run home run in that game. What went into that at bat for you specifically?
Well, he started me with off speed away. He was working the off speed on the outer half of the plate, and then I kind of worked it into a 3-2 count. And I remember he came with a fastball in, and I just got a barrel on it.
You reunited with your high school teammate Quentin Wahlberg here at OCU. Was that a factor in bringing you here?
You know, Quinn and I have been playing since Little League. We've always been teammates and good buddies, and I was actually coming here before I even knew he was coming here. So when I heard he was, you know, I was ecstatic because you love to have Quinn on your team.
What's your major here at OCU?
Business.
What kind of career plans do you have for yourself when baseball's over?
Hopefully, I can start my own business. I'm not sure exactly what field I want to go in, but that's the plan.
I understand that you've also been an Uber driver. You have any interesting stories that you can share from your time doing that?
Yeah, Uber's been a fun job part-time. I just do it on the weekends and whenever I'm bored and not working towards baseball or school. So.
Yeah. All right, talking to Delaware Resource Group Superstar Athlete of the Week, Daniel Costello. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.
What I've learned the most from golf is to have integrity in everything you say and do.
One of the biggest lessons of that sports impacts my daily life is discipline.
Be a champion of character, it just means to realize first that you're a part of something that's bigger than yourself.
Being a part of NAIA is something that I'm going to keep with me forever because it's not only made me a better athlete, but it's made me a better person.
The NAIA really just cares about their student athletes and just the experience in general at the school, and I think that that's really important.
The NAIA stands for, has great core values. One that's most important to me is servant leadership. Being able to serve your community is a huge reason why I chose the NAIA.
I am a champion of character.
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 Here on the OCU Athletics Update, we're talking to softball coach Phil McSpadden. He's led the Stars to the top of the Sooner Athletic Conference standings this season. And Coach, you coming off of a series against USAO. Tell us about that series.
Well, it got down to, I guess that's counting your chickens before they hatch. Both teams feel pretty confident they can finish the season after that doubleheader unscathed. And so last night pretty much was, if USAO swept us, they would win the league title. And if we just at least split, we'd come out on top, assuming that we take care of business from here on. But based on both of our schedules, and I know that sounds arrogant, and I apologize for that. But so it was a big doubleheader, and 2 good ball games, 2 one-run ball games. Both games, probably both teams had opportunities to win. You know, we win a 1-0 ball game in the first one. They win a 2-1 ball game in the second one, and we're evenly matched. We went over there and at their place earlier in the year. We do home and home doubles in the Sooner softball. They were 3 2 ball games and 2 0 ball games, I think. So, I mean, they've always been good, well played, and pretty evenly matched.
Earlier in the year, Georgia Wall had a streak of 47 consecutive scoreless innings and also 11 consecutive starts with a win. What kind of groove is she in?
You're giving me stats that I didn't know I'm more aware of, so it sounds like she's a pretty good groove. Everybody makes fun of me. I'm not a stats person. I've always thought you get bogged down with somebody looks good on a piece of paper, you know, batting average, and they could be, you know, a quail here, a dink there. I kind of remember who's hitting the ball well, et cetera, so I don't want to look at, and it's probably stupid, but because some of the most revered managers in Major League Baseball are all about stats. So I wouldn't have known that, but it doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, Georgia's been an integral part of our program for the 3 years she's been here, and she's having another good year.
You got a couple of players who are four-year players for you, Lacey Joyner and Abby Metter. What can you say about the contributions that they've made throughout their careers?
You know, 4-year kids that you wouldn't trade. I mean, good students. You didn't have to worry about them at all. 4-year starters, always clutch. I mean, they're just solid as they can be, both on and off the field. So when you get into small college coaching, or maybe coaching at any level, I mean, that's actually exactly the type of kids that you'd want in your program.
Got a couple of postseason events that you're going to host at Ann Lacey Stadium, the Sooner Athletic Conference Tournament, as well as the opening round in the NAIA. How big is it to be able to play those events on your home field?
I've always been indifferent about that. Growing up with two brothers and myself, from three sons who all played baseball, I always felt like in baseball, home field advantage was critical. And when I got into softball, I felt like the girls, and still do, girls, I don't know if momentum is as much, I guess it can be, but I think they get intimidated by people in the stands, and boyfriends are here, and sometimes I feel like we play better on the road. And I've even argued that with Mr. Abbott on whether or not we want to host stuff down the road. And I don't have any information other than it just seems like we're more relaxed, we're more focused when we don't have distractions. And some of those distractions can be the people in the stands. And from a guy standpoint, I don't think you ever paid that much attention to who's in the stands and your home surface and everything, you know, comfort about your angles and depth, and do I have a warning track, do I not, all that stuff that makes sense seem pretty important to guys. And I don't know if it's the sense, but I can't guarantee that we play better when we're at home than we do on the road.
Speaking of Ann Lacey Stadium, got a new outfield fence over the offseason. What went into getting that done?
Years ago, the university wanted me to, we had different ideas of how to do the fence. And Coach Crayball in baseball was arguing about the metal fence, and you can't get, I say you can't, it's very expensive to get flat panel metal. So everything's corrugated, and you got all these little curves and everything. And in softball, your outfielders are typically playing closer to the fence they are in baseball, and so you're always worried about a ball hitting one and shooting off because your outfielder doesn't have any time to react. She's basically back there on almost fly balls. Like in baseball, you have a little bit of time as you're running back toward the fence to see which way it's going to break off. So a fence would, if it were metal, would stay there forever. We went with wood. We went with marine plywood and told it would last 15 or 20 years, and we were lucky to get 10 out of it. It was falling apart. We had to raise money. A couple of years we had the idea of what we had to do, took care of it financially, and then the girls and the coaches knocked the old wood fence down and put the new wood fence up, and it's still not finished because you got a bunch of rookies trying to fix this thing. So we've got more screws that need to go in there, more caulking, more paint. We haven't lettered it yet, but at least we don't feel like a ball's going to go through it like the old fence.
The Michael Toney Memorial Endowed Scholarship was just established to benefit the softball program. What can you tell us about what went into creating that and the people responsible for that fund? You
know, when I first heard about it, I didn't realize that I knew him. Not that that had anything to do with it at all, or would. Dr. Jones here on campus, head of the new PT program, unfortunately lost her dad last May, and she wanted to do something to remember him by, and he was a big softball person in Tulsa. And at the time, when I first heard about it, I was trying to put Jones and who this was, and I realized after I saw the press release who she was talking about and who her dad was. So, longtime softball person in Tulsa, loved the game, coached and taught his daughters how to play, and it was a big integral part of their relationship, as can be so many times with daughters and dads. And so it was just a way to honor him. And so we're very appreciative and very thankful, and hopefully it's going to be benefit to some softball player down the road.
All right, talking to softball coach Phil McSpadden. You can follow the Stars on OCUsports.com.